My, this is different. Put a little fence around it. You know, I think we're past that. I think when your problem has progressed to this level, there's not really much you can do except maybe look into the occult or the code of the game itself. Which, at this point, is not out of the question. It's like the pixels that make up the display are falling away. Something is crawling up out of the abyss that we didn't even know was there. Kind of like this integrity emerging from under the bedrock. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Minecraft with the broken script mod, but unlike in previous episodes, I have updated to the newest version. Not only that, but I've updated to a newer version of the game as well, so this is about as up-to-date as we can get. And I gotta be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this background. I mean, it's creepy. It's real creepy. And the fact that it's just here with regular Minecraft music, it's sort of like the game's not even acknowledging it, but otherwise, I sort of liked not knowing what was going to happen, having everything seem normal at first, except with the quit game here. So, I don't know, I kind of hope it's not going to abandon its relative subtlety. Of course, this being a new version, I'm not quite sure how this will affect our old worlds. So here we are in our distant village, and I guess our first step should probably be to head home and see if anything's different or the same, right? Spent all that time building this house here, but I ended up getting kind of sidetracked by the fact that that weird block spawned. We can't trust anything to work the same way anymore. TBS config doesn't work anymore, and the site says to use TBS config. So that's either out-of-date information or something's up. Walking across this suspiciously empty nether has got me thinking about something that you guys pointed out in the last video. See, you told me that there was something in the caves below the old base, the one that was found within the game files. And in fact, it was only after the video was rendered. This was something that wasn't visible even in the preview window where I usually catch stuff. Oh, not now, not now. There's skeletons shooting at me. There's skeletons shooting at me. There are skeletons shooting at me. Get off my screen. Okay, looks like we're actually unscathed. But anyway, this is something that was only visible after I adjusted the level, so only visible in the render. Something down there. So maybe we'll return and try to find it. I don't know if it was because of where we were, but it seems like less than a coincidence that it was on their world. And they talked about something coming up through the bedrock. I don't know, maybe that something is still there? Well, at least we confirmed that the mod is still working. Let's find out if home is still home. Unfortunately, I may have acted a bit rashly last time because we probably sabotaged our reputation with Null. It's possible things have been reset, but so far it doesn't look like it. Okay, that's not new. We burned your house down. You're gonna have something to say to us. Next question is gonna be, are we still in that eternal twilight? It seems that we are. Upgrading versions has not done anything to deter the problems that are already facing our world. Hopefully that means it'll unbreak itself. If not, we still have the other one that we started in the last video. There we are. You're doing your thing again, but wait. It could just be me, it could just be the game version. But it sort of looks like the fog is different now. I can see the stars right through it, and I don't know, it's pushing against the backdrop differently. It still says render distance 15 chunks. Maybe updating it will change it? No. We can't fix it now. Well, that's gonna be a problem. Look, it's like things are just fading in as we go. Will it automatically fix it at some point, or are we just stuck in the fog all this time? Over here has got to be our towers. Thankfully, they're still there. You're a lot more active than you were before. Oh, hey, look at that. The fog extends to the Nether as well, only it's much worse here. I can barely see the tunnel right next to the portal. Well, our abilities have been somewhat hamstrung for a while. Oh, you are really taking your revenge now. I pissed you off right the moment before you got a big upgrade. The rain's upon us. Alright, let's get back home from here. From here I can't even find where home is. I can't even, like, see the landmarks because I removed half of them. It's gotta be this way. I practically don't even want to leave my house now. Of all the things, this is what's making me feel really unsafe. Well, hey. At least we can look on the bright side, literally, looking out this window and pretending it's morning. And when we want to rest, we just look out this window and pretend it's night. While I'm homebound, I guess I might as well point out that I am also using a different skin now. This was made by Delta S, so thank you so much. I do love it when I get to kind of have community stuff in these series. But I just can't stop thinking about that thing in the caves. You would not believe my reaction when I saw that. Okay, I guess you will change it back on your own now. I think I might have only seen you do that once, if at all, before. We have a wealth of food and potatoes. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that thing I always claimed I was doing and just sort of play the game. Just play the game and wait for your shenanigans to come to me. After all, that is what I was doing before, and it seems like that's probably the best way to be on better terms with Null. We've got a lot to make up for. I've kind of started to... It's weird how through this haunting, we sort of start to perceive a consistent character for them. I've kind of started to see them as an angry spirit, yes, but also a historian. Someone who wants to be known, to have their story told. Actually, even though this takes the form of glitches, it's not at all unlike a classic ghost story. Something with unfinished business. That's not rain. Always a prankster, huh, Null? Wait, did I have a way to get onto the roof easily? You're falling from above, and there's more of those blocks all over. Alright, you know what? I think we're due for another mine trip. I want to see if we can get that thing to appear in our world, that spindly, spinning mass that looks like nothing I've ever seen before in Minecraft. It lingers and it's directional, like it stays in the spot where it shifted me. Do you not like me coming down here, or you just do this in any old place? Either way, I've never been more nervous about going down into the caves. Well, except for the wardens. The wardens are honestly scarier, but hey, we only caught a glimpse of that thing from a distance. Good luck. That's not very good luck at all, but escape got me out of it. Imagine if that came up at the wrong time. You know, like a blue screen during a chase with skeletons and ghasts. Although, oddly enough, I came out of that pretty unscathed. Maybe it is just a bit of friendly griefing. Hey, look at that. You were a little slower on removing it that time. We actually had Deep Slate on our screen for quite a while with us right next to it. Diamonds! So, you know, my luck's looking up already. God, you find so many of these things through strip mining. So many. Oh no. 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 Can we see you emerge? I was ready for you that time, but I landed a hit on you. You didn't hit, oh no. It felt like something grabbed me for a second. I can't move in here. It's doing like the desync issue. Let's follow this back. Where did you come from? Just this little chamber in here. It's like you... I hate to say it, but it's kind of like you were just dormant here. Like you were lying in wait, just waiting for me to get close. And something is still wrong with whatever's right here. It's not an invisible block either, because I can mine right through it. It's just right there. It's like a... It's just like a stick spot. We can sort of build over it, too. It doesn't stop me from placing blocks. Right now, I'm just trying to... I can hear lava. I'm trying to mine through to it. There's our lava lake. Oh, God. Please don't tell me it's gonna be like from the fog, where you have the ability to just push me. Just give me a little nudge at the worst possible moment. No wonder I couldn't find it. I was chasing a fairly small part for all this time, but at least we have a new cave system. Oh God, we have a new cave system. And now I think of entirely different fears besides creepers when I stare into a dark tunnel. That's gonna be my new white whale, isn't it, for this episode? That thing I only caught a glimpse of, and only once, and only after the fact. And yet it consumes all my thoughts. I suspect it to be integrity. Just because of where we found it. I'm ready for you again. You have really picked up in frequency. How far can we get you to come? Like, what if we just leave the tunnel altogether? You'll just make your way straight toward me. What if I just go home? Look, as much as I want to stay and play Minecraft, we've got to commit to science. What if I just leave and never encounter you at all? Will you have to dig your way all the way to me? Because at that point it feels like I'm trolling you. This way, up and out. Hey. Hey. It's night. There's monsters. It's just like regular night. Does that mean that things are back on track? I don't know if that moon is moving. I don't know if that moon is moving. I hope things haven't broken permanently. Well, that water is still pouring from above, and there's more surprisingly wet clouds up there, still threatening to do the same. Let's get some sleep. I'm not even going to change this because, you know what? My conditions are what you want them to be. Yeah, no, it's another eternal night. The day-night cycle will never fix itself at this rate. It's proven capable of moving, but it will not fix itself. That's a huge problem. Well, I was going to build you a new house, but now it looks like I won't be able to. Oh, hey, it's one of you guys. You're like crazy rare, aren't you? Alright, just for gliggles, let's see what happens if we try teleporting again. Well, there's a different load screen. Actually, there's a load screen at all, which is strange, and we are transported to the same place, but not placed into the wall again. I actually tried to stop that from happening by digging downward, and it didn't do anything. Now it doesn't happen. Where are we heading? The eternal night seems to have followed us here as well. It's been a long time since we've seen this place dark. It's back in funeral home mode. In fact, we haven't seen this place dark since before we started exploring the lower levels. What that means is I'm going back. I have to find out where that goes. Okay. Dropping in heavy fog in the dark is much scarier and something I'm much less willing to put confidence in. Thankfully, we already had torches down here. It takes on a different tone, doesn't it? Now it's looking a whole lot more like the drains. But the drains, even before things were like this, I believe were just always night. Well, at least we have something we can count on here. Nulltatos, our pit to the deep. And a little house where we can pretend that things aren't so bad. See? When we're in here, it's like we're just in a prison cell of our own making and not an alternate dimension that we are powerless to escape from. Well, not powerless. It's just not easy. Won't even let us attempt to sleep. You know, when I was like a 15-year-old kid just getting into Minecraft, I don't think I could have predicted just where it would lead. Just how people's thoughts on how the game felt would sort of congeal into something totally unrecognizable to what the game was in 2010. The way it's imaged, the way it's played has kind of been defined by the pop culture around it. Well, look, let's take some of our null apples, because we need to make sure we have some health. And see if anything has changed down below. I seem to recall you guys telling me about null creatures that didn't seem to be here in my game. Well, maybe it's because I was on an earlier version? I don't see any. But in these massive caverns, I can't help but think that sooner or later we'll see a twisting, spindly mass. Every once in a while, I'll just stop and wait to see if something will trigger a subtitle. But so far, only me. Thing is, I don't want to stay here very long. I don't want to get teleported while we're down here, because I don't want to be teleported underground. I deliberately didn't bring many resources in case I died. That wasn't just a dark wall. That was a drop to my doom. You know, technically, if I keep sleeping here... What was that? That came from behind here. It sounded like leaves breaking for a second. I thought that miner had found me even here. What I was gonna say just now was... if I keep trying to sleep in bed, if I just stay here, theoretically, when it randomly teleports me, it'll be back home, ground level. If I do it down there, I'll be underground, trapped. If I do it up there, I can go through the door and be brought to the teleport platform, the catch me platform, but if I do it on the way, I'll be in the air and I'll fall to my death. So here is technically the safest place, I just don't know when it'll send me back. Why are there torches all the way out there? This doesn't look like something I would have placed. I think something's out here with me, and now I can't even see what's around. I keep thinking I hear something else in the footsteps. I feel like I'm the lonely single character in a dark, spooky painting. But can't you just imagine this from a distance? The whole canvas a dark void, except for one barely lit spot, containing a little house and a lone figure just sitting here. In darkness like this, it's like there is no context beyond what's in this little bubble. Well, at least as long as we're here, our null potatoes are actually growing. I suspect that they don't when we're in the overworld. Okay, this time there's no underscore, it's just this. An unexpected error occurred trying to execute that command. An unexpected error. That's not something... that's not a message that's ever been returned to me before, so yeah, no, you're doing something. That was a lightning strike. You know what? I think I'm good right here. It's the safest place to be teleported from. Let's just wait and see what you do. Let's try just using the mod menu. Client config and common config. Let's say client. Disable crashes will make that true. Common config. Ooh, now that is actually, that's a lot more detailed. And it seemingly lists basically everything, so I'm deliberately not going to read it. It's not doing the VHS effect, so I assume a lot of my settings are still there. You know, it's kind of weird having the commands still listed, even if you can't use them now. It's almost like it's kind of building on the mod's own release. Like it knows that people will try things that used to work before. And it's kind of slamming the door in their face, almost as if Null is adapting through the newer versions. We're getting this. Something we... Once again, I'm unnerved by how directional that sound is. That was something we previously encountered on our second world. I don't know if the rate things are going are because of us changing versions, or if it's because we made a mess of things at the end of the last part, but could always be both. Here I am, acting like this shelter will actually do something for me. I find I kind of instinctively crawl in whenever something's happening. It's infrequent, but it's letting me know it's watching from the outside. Alright, it's at this point that I'm going to try and leave. Thank you, Null! Thank you so much. Can always count on you, old buddy, old pal. So this would be the equivalent location. I still keep thinking about what you guys said, about how the other world seemingly maps onto ours, onto our seed. In fact, you could argue whether it's another world at all. I'm just holding out hope that sooner or later this night will end. Because there's not much building gonna get done right now. Okay, just abduct me randomly, why don't you? Right after I finished filling up my inventory, so thanks for that. Thank you. Thank you real much. Okay. Okay. You want to cheat? Let me cheat. What are those coordinates? There we are. We've intersected our own path. That makes this a lot easier. Should be straight down here. Thank you very much. It's like I keep saying, if you're gonna cheat, why shouldn't I? Thank you, Catch Me platform. Find ghosts since... When did I start recording this? Like a month ago? Anyway. Goodbye. Look at... Did you see all those skeletons? I thought they were sheep at first. Hello, gaggle of creepers. Try not to let the cows out. I kind of figured there'd be something waiting for me when I got back. In fact, that might... I don't even remember if that's where I was standing when you teleported me. I'm gonna put my diamond stuff away before I try to mess with it. You teleported me straight to here. Well, let's get running, I guess. That'll actually be... If that reliably comes here, that'll be extremely useful to have just in our house. I don't want it to disappear. the hello block. And I'm just going to call them the hello block because we have to approach this as a scientist. And it's easy to forget that in a world where everything is named and documented and in books, all the names you read are just names that were come up with by the people who discovered them, who tinkered and figured out how they worked. And well, we may be the only one here, but that just means that we have exclusive naming rights. Right? You turned me around. You turned me around, you did? Anyway, the point I was trying to get to is that that's why I can call that thing the hello block, because those were the circumstances we found it in, and when one appeared in our house in this world, it disappeared upon a reload. Which means that the teleport here will probably do so as well. All I can do is compare the past with the present. That's all I've got to go on. You know what I should have done? I should have tried to dig. I've been trying to get back here. It hasn't let me the last bunch of times I've tried, but I want to dig down and see if the underworld is like in the backrooms. And we're back. That thing remains. So you know what? That's our new goal. That's what we're up to now. Alright, let's go. Reliably bringing us back. Just, you know, careful not to nudge it. Just scooch around it while you're making your way around the parlor. Now remember, this place tends to be a lot more temperamental than the back rooms about teleporting us out, so we're probably gonna have to work in shifts. Here we are. And there's actually an air gap. An air gap before a layer of cobblestone. Oh no, this is a trench. Well, let's start digging. Could have just fallen down here, I guess, if we wanted. More dirt. This is interesting. This is like backrooms geology. Seeing the different layers and how they present. It is thus far a bit different from the backrooms, though. I say backrooms as like a liminal area, but this too has caves. They just present with dirt instead of that stone. We are currently sitting at 44. I'm trying to create a sensible staircase while still having space to maneuver. And making it so that I can find this path later. Hopefully the torches will do the work of that. Okay, is this a new layer? Doesn't seem so. I'm gonna start keeping my F3 menu open, simply so that when I get teleported inevitably, I have some record of how deep that was. Lava. There is lava down here. Can we perhaps go even deeper? Lava down here at -16. it doesn't seem to go very far. And our last shovel is on the verge of death. Thankfully, there's another way down, leading to even more lava. And we're teleported back into a cave. But not nearly so deep as one would think. Certainly not one-to-one with where we were. Well, you know what? We may as well just build ourselves a staircase, you know, out of all this null dirt. Curious to know, where are we anyways? Oh. I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Thankfully, it's not too far from home. Alright, well, I'm about to make it all your guys' problem on the way back. Nope, it's my problem, because you guys are back. Can I at least bring you through the Illager outpost? You weren't too useful for that, but you've also given very good reason why I should stay away from my own house, killing all my cows. You saw those particles behind me, right? They lingered long after they should have, right? You know, I just got the voluntary exile achievement, but you didn't actually apply the bad omen effect. I wonder if that's shenanigans or bugs or what. Which is what you could kind of rename this series. I really thought that was something big floating there for a second. It's just the cross. I kept mentioning that it looked like a player, but now that there's nothing for it to stand on, it looks even more like something. Especially since I was just about to comment that these waves, these hauntings, seem to come in waves. Endermen don't count, but I'm really expecting to see R2 sometime in the near future. And not R2-D2. I see you. Behind my crafting screen. Null in chat. So let's see how this works out. Are you gonna do something else? That miner never did find his way to me. In this house where it's perpetually raining because I allow it to. I really want something with silk touch. Please don't tell me this is real. Please don't tell me this is real. You can't just chunk error my entire house. Come on. Okay, well, that might have to be a... Oh man, I might have to back up. This is absolutely ridiculous. It can happen to your home, and I know it knows where home is. Okay, so I guess we're just starting from scratch now. If that can happen, there's no point to a centralized base. There just isn't. If anything, you want to have your chests as spread out as possible. The only thing that didn't get caught up on that is the ones that are in those chests out there. One thing I've noticed during all of this is that the mobs are suspiciously absent once more. I can see spiders over there. And every once in a while, I'm looking down and it looks like the light levels go up, but what's actually happening? Because the moon's sure not moving. Can't say I've ever heard this soundtrack before either. God, like, what's even the point? Like, the problem I'm having with this mod is that either nothing's happening or it's completely screwing you over, but either way, it doesn't let you just play the game, which seems to be what it wants you to do. It wants you to let the events come to you. There's nothing really proactive you can do. But it seems like all I can do is just kind of sit around. Those were blocks breaking. What were they and where were they? Every time that happens, I think that the miner has finally found me. Never does. Oh my god! This time you didn't just wrench my view in any direction, you pointed it directly at the moon. Hey. So, you gonna act like I didn't just see you put that book in my inventory? Null.error, object error, null object alone, not behind, entity type player. Receive data invalid, reboot failed, reset player, data 00F92194929D94210F812. We're under the effects of some kind of effect. Why can't you just leave? Tit for tat, huh? I grief your world, you grief mine? The time has changed once more, but I think it's... yeah. Yeah, you just put us right back where we started. It's frozen. And I don't think it's any kind of peace offering either. Huh. Those lightning strikes are getting closer and closer, and you did it while I was standing in a pool of water. Not only did you get that inside eventually, but you also created the condition to almost kill me. Good thing I was wearing my non-conductive iron armor at the time. Yeah, so the enchanting table and the jukebox are seemingly just gone, like just disappeared. So I guess the only thing we can do with that is go to the mines, try and get more diamonds, and it's just as well anyway because apparently the mines are the only place I can actually just play the game. There's no point in building. Well, the beehive isn't making its noises anymore. I am right behind you. Well, let's find out if that's true. No? No, I can't. Can you see me? More vocal. The closer we get to you! It's like you really are down here. And all of this with the default Minecraft music playing. Was this always here? No. What's the story with this? I didn't and wouldn't have made these tunnels. What? Wait, I can't tell where one starts and the other ends. Maybe I did? Maybe this is something different? It's one tunnel made by me, connected to another tunnel made by me. I think. I may not have had the VHS option on, but you're gonna go ahead and do it for me anyway. So tell me, how long is this actually gonna last? Because I really can't see anything. It's like you took it as a challenge when I said the only place I can still just play is in the mines. I've been playing for like 2 hours now. You've certainly hit me with a lot more than I ever got out of like, what, like 20-something, probably close to 30 hours of recording the first 3 parts? Oh, we have to go back to World 2 now. And just like that, it's gone. It's just the dawn past our draw distance that makes it look like there's the fiery underworld crawling towards us from the end of this tunnel. And because of the day-night cycle, it's going to stay there forever. But at first, when I noticed it, I thought it was part of the VHS effect. You know what? Let's head back a little bit and look at where you were trying to come out of the wall. That's why. That's why we tunneled into where you chased us. So you did actually end up coming out, placing your stone on the stairs. You may have followed us out. Okay, that was you resetting our draw distance. I was really afraid because we had just stumbled onto diamonds and I thought, okay, well, now's when you would do shenanigans. You're trying to get at me and it doesn't work underground, but it sounds like it's close. Remember, we are very close to bedrock. Oddly enough, I don't know if it's part of the shenanigans, but there's like no iron on this world. Like, it is practically as rare, if not rarer, than diamonds. Found something. I don't believe I've ever found one this way before. There's a dungeon over here. Thankfully, it's just a zombie dungeon. Diamond horse armor. Neat. And C418 cat. Okay, take what we can get. This system looks incredibly complex, and there will no doubt be tons and tons of loot. Actually, I'm not finding a whole lot so far, which is concerning. Nope, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out. Don't need none of that. You've only just decided to find some lava. Look at you trying to hide some diamonds. Thank you. I've read that it tends to generate fewer of something if it's exposed to air. But hey, diamonds are diamonds. This is some of the craziest mineshaft generation I've ever seen. And cue you. Alright, let's be ready for you. Where are you gonna come from? Sounds like you might have actually hit a spider out there. You're doing stuff, but you're doing it more slowly. Maybe we should get this stuff quick. I was waiting to see what you'd do. Now, it's actually kind of more like you're avoiding me, like you're stalking me through the walls. I'm still hearing those blocks break. Expanding on our horizons, you've even got different types of VHS filter. Now we're going for scan lines and a cropped aspect ratio. Kinda makes it feel like I'm not even playing anymore, like I'm just watching an old clip. Even though, logically, I know that Minecraft is well after VHS. So it kind of makes me wonder why it's this way. Daylight! Daylight, and not only that, but it actually appears to be moving! Okay, just for reference, dozens of hours of gameplay, and now it changes. Actual real day-night back in action. Those blocks in the sky are kind of acting as my North Star, aren't they? I really wonder when that happened and if it coincides with any of the events we experienced while we were down there. Look at that thing being reconstructed. I want a screenshot of this. I wonder how the screenshot will come out, if the screenshot itself will be cropped. We haven't seen full sun in so long. But I don't really have time to think about that right now. Right now, we need to put this here. At this point, I'm pretty much just a goblin that harvests and hoards diamonds, because what else am I supposed to do? I don't feel comfortable staying here, that's for sure. Even though I put a floor there, you're still flooding my base. I'll take that space back. Help. No, you are nothing if not a king of mixed messages. For possibly the first time in Minecraft, the moon is rising, and I'm happy about it. It, for some reason, destroyed only certain objects, but no matter, we can fix that right up. And what's the point of even making a bed if it can't be read, right? in the dark and on dirt terrain, this actually pretty severely limits our visibility. Like, I can't do much this way. So, what a revolutionary act it must be to sleep when something has tried to prevent it for so long. Let's build that. There we are. Good to go. Oh my god. Oh my! Where am I? Whoa! Whoa. I've noticed something. You're hitting me with 1, 2, 3 combos a lot more often now than you used to. We're jittering, we're shaking up and down in our bed. And now we've stopped. I guess we still had a little bit of that lightning flowing through us. Also worth noting, that portal to the drains, it disappeared when the house was destroyed. I don't want to spend a lot of time here at all anymore. I don't even know why I'm bothering to rebuild the upper floor. But at this point, I'm starting to feel like going and checking out World 2 again. And we know now that installing a newer version does not disrupt the flow of things whatsoever. R2. So the background, or rather, who occupies the corner, will change. Almost as if you can only take a turn to look at us one at a time. But you all want your turn. You may not have a face, but it does feel as if you're staring back right now. As if from behind a window. Right, let's try. Let's see what's here. You are right where we left you. Will the other guy also be? Well, I guess we can't find that out until we lure you away. No left the game! Well, it says that. It says that, but no, they haven't. Also, I'm not gonna gloss over that! What is going on? You are actively trying to chase me out of your world now, aren't you? Okay. We need food. Bread's gonna be the best way to do that. Thankfully, you've already got a nice little garden going. I can't believe in lore, like, I want to know the age of the person who works on this mod, because in lore, 2019 is like the distant past, and I'm like, dude, I was just there. I don't know, maybe it's just the COVID time vortex, but I'll forever have, like, 2020 and the immediate time around it as, oh, that just happened. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I need to go... If I'm going to go back into the mines, I need to go inside and try and get my stuff back. I put it in Ram's room. You're still up there. It's like you can't get down. I mean, if you're trapped, then that's... Well, actually, that's really inconvenient for me. Very inconvenient. We'd never actually seen mobs spawn here before. I guess maybe it became dark enough. Your skeleton horse could be killed individually. It seems so can we. You've given us the effect again. Why can't you just leave? See, what's brilliant about that is that it allows the player to experience it on their own time. A lot of things in this are like that, where you just kind of notice that something is there, and then it's on you to check what it says. Basically, your curiosity leads you to the answer. Cool thing about limited resources in a world is that our torch trail leads right down the path we took. So it shouldn't be too hard to locate that chunk error and crash. Oh, hey. You found me down here. That's really inconvenient. The draw distance seemingly caused you to disappear, though. Is that the invite to come back and claim my stuff? I actually didn't find where the chunk error was. I don't remember where it is, because it's not here. You turned my elevator of water to stone. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could recognize that I had done that. Oh, what? You don't want me messing with your blocks? There's a lot of things in this part where the timing is too perfect to not be intentional. Just incentivizes me to build a better staircase then. I've definitely been down here. This might be it. Oh yeah, this has got to be it. This is it. Unfortunately, the current state of things means we cannot look very far ahead. Hey, we've earned another achievement. Okay, well, the worst of it is lifted. However, I'm still not finding our guy. Oh! There's a waterfall leading to sunlight over there. That's a way up if I ever saw one. Just how deep are we? Pretty deep. Question now is, what'll we see when we get up there? Whoa. That's one of the biggest lava caverns I've ever seen. Even for as late as this world is said to be, that's still before the Caves and Cliffs update. I need some sunlight. I want to see what's going on above the surface. This is a truly massive system. As soon as I reach the surface, as soon as I comment on needing sunlight, you snatch it away. I know the same can be said of literally anything, but it's a different place at night. You've actually got caves directly beneath the house. Feels wrong to be in here, even more so than the intrusion that this already felt like. Because now that one of those clouds passed through, we actually can't hear the animals that used to live here. It destroyed them all, like a miasma that poisoned them. All our stuff is still here. So let's put you on and try to sleep. Once more, it says Null left the game, but no such luck, and your profile picture is simply a black square. While I was in there, it spawned a netherrack block. One spawned on the bridge also too, in the other world. I wasn't sure if I accidentally did it. I don't think I've seen this before. Wait, this is around the corner where there's like nothing. Why is he not playing with us? I don't know. He just left and never came back. Maybe he's just tired or something. They're talking about RAM or null. I don't remember if I found that before. But then he came back. You know, I just realized actually, we're still playing on a world that we opened from the old version. But if I open a new one, of course I'm going to back this up. It's entirely possible that it'll be changed. Let me turn on display capture. NoWayOut.txt. We have your personal data. Honestly, given the history of this mod, I would not be the slightest bit surprised. In fact, it only makes sense that something that's going out of its way to be meta, well, would have something for the data miners. You're something new, and since R2 appeared in the background, I've got to imagine that both of you, and in fact you look like maybe the thing we saw in the cave, that tentacled creature is real as well. Okay, where's this world 2? Right here. But it's the one we just pulled from the current version of the mod. Everything looks more or less the same. Everything looks more or less the same. That path of torches was indeed always there. Actually, it looks like there's another path of torches right there. That killed me. And the respawn is down here. Setting the mode to creative does work in here. I really didn't expect that to be the case, but maybe we can use that. These doors are already open. Is that sign made of a different type of wood? Like, the things I'm taking notice of. Actually, in a new version, 0, null void, 0. Still nothing. These doors are all open, like Ram 2 died, dropped down, and just kind of like ran off, placing torches into the night. Hello. We've got this block. Now, where should we put this one? How about in the Nether? We can use this opportunity to see if anything has changed on that end. No? It seems to really be more of the same. But hey, in the middle of a netherrack bridge over this chasm would probably be a good place for it. It's got the light of some fire. It'll always do it. Wire 4's room. Nothing. It's weird how certain members of the group don't elicit any response whatsoever. No, no, no. Sure thing, but it's not in response to what we said. Don't forget, there's also the big thing that we've been ignoring, which is Circuit. It was all Circuit's fault. I had said that it seemed like Circuit was like an administrator in the way they're spoken about in the mod's text. But we haven't heard of anything else. No sign here to indicate that they were part of the friend group. That certainly was an eerie noise. That eerie noise sounded like a minecart passing right over us. This is an interesting little nook because it starts out carved out, hidden behind the stairs. But there's nothing here, so that's kind of weird. It actually sort of looks like the carve-outs that Null makes when he's tunneling towards me. For you, concealing. Avoid him at all cost. Rotten hell integrity. And this one we already found before, but of course we need those diamonds. And it looks like the sun is actually starting to set. So now the question I'm asking is, would anything happen if we were to fully and completely seal this chunk error where it seems like something burst out of the earth? Like a cosmic deity awakening. From what we've heard, that may not be too far off of a comparison to make. Okay, I guess night wasn't falling. As evidenced by the fact that it never fully got dark, but it did look like it was getting darker. There we go. Good as new. Like I said, good as new. Look at you blocking my path back up. Wait, we've never done this before. Oh. I don't have a box to put these diamonds in. And it didn't count. This is new. Same interior design philosophy, but this is new. I was just about to save and quit. I wasn't even going to go all the way up the stairs. You have a habit of pulling me back in. That familiar music is playing all throughout here. Is this a dimension that only exists on this world? There are certain things that make me think that it reacts uniquely when you're there. And there is something over there. A window. Constant hitches that suggests things are loading in, being generated. It's the backrooms. Wait, so are you telling me... Are you trying to tell me that this was maybe something we could have always reached, like from our backrooms? We spawned here. Okay, one for me, one for you. This means that we should be able to find a teleport, right? Well, that simply didn't take very long at all, did it? Straight into the water. Well, hey, that whole thing beats taking the stairs, huh? There's just a black bar on the bottom of the screen for a second. I've not encountered that thing again, so one last bit of science. If we leave and come back, the effect is preserved. You're the same basic shape as before, but it's a different presentation. Like some tentacled creature reaching out of the moon. Actually, come to think of it, it did yank my view towards the moon earlier. I'm starting a new session, and this is kind of interesting because the background stayed the same. It was just who was present in the bottom right that was changing when I would go back and forth between the game and the menu. But now that I'm reloading entirely, like the entire platform, now the background has changed. Now it's kind of back to how it was before. Okay, maybe I'm just cycling through different things. We can actually do it easily this way. There's a whole bunch of them, although in many cycles, this is the first time we've seen this. The moon. I think that's it. I think the moon is what we need to start looking towards more. Whoa! Whoa. Thanks, that's what I was trying to do anyway. It just teleported me out of the cave and then gently lowered me down. Maybe that's actually a positive reputation thing? I kind of doubt it. I mean, we haven't even been on this world that long, but it's certainly hitting us with more than before. I didn't have to find it in the caves, it came up here! And it's coming towards me. It's not fast, though. Yes, it's definitely the thing from the art. We're seeing it so clearly. Maybe down in the deep, it got tired of waiting. I didn't realize this thing went over a huge trench. Look at it. It's like it can't decide whether it's 2D or 3D. It can't decide what space it's occupying. Okay. What will be with this thing. It's actually catching up. It doesn't look like it's moving quickly, but it's like it phases in and out of reality. Here, put all this stuff. All the null books. I've actually got a second null book now. Surprisingly, the door does stop it, but it's just out there. Can we hit it? It's gone. I was just getting ready to see if I could smack it, but no. If it loses track of me, it just leaves. If I type your name in, putting it in as a command doesn't do anything. Deep down under the bedrock, well, not anymore. I opened the front doors, and it was just there waiting for me. It almost feels like an intelligent taunt. Like it was just sitting back, watching me look for it for all this time. And then as soon as I give it up, there it is. Problem is, unfortunately, our attempts to escape it worked too well. Because we didn't get to see if we could hit it, or even what happens when it kills us. Oh, and hey, we got a third null book. They're gonna keep giving this to us. It's a good thing they stack, I suppose. There's a chest down here. I'm just walking around seeing if it'll come back. There's a chest down in this crevice. There we go. It's nothing special. I mean, it's useful stuff, sure. But it's just a bunch of food and basic supplies. There's a redstone torch on the stairs. What I want to know is, of all the time that everyone has spent in Minecraft, why did this happen to these people? Well, you know what? That's what I wanted. I wanted to see what was down here, so thank you. How long do we have? 14 seconds? All I need. You know, this wasn't a good idea. I see that now. Look, up there. Redstone torches. Just use the peaceful trick to get rid of these guys. I could have at least gotten some tools before attempting this. There they are again, once more. Peaceful. Do this before the volley of arrows comes in. Not even torches, wow. Hey, you gave me another null book. Sometimes I watch it happen. This way. I knew there'd be more. Hang on, wait, we got things to make torches. I need to be able to see better. Because of one bad word, our bodies are torn apart. My eyes are gone. I'm wondering if maybe this is from other members of the server, not Null himself. Because Null has always communicated normally. Well, not normally, but straightforward at least. There's one of these signs also at the entrance to the chunk error. But down here, you refer to us as, well, plural, are. Our bodies are torn apart. You're the ones who are trapped. And because of one person, I have to assume Circuit. It was all his fault. I've got to wonder what the path was for these torches. Structures like this really do resemble a corrupted world, don't they? Where chunks where things were built on are just kind of reverting to their default seed state. In this case, in a straight line cutting across a bridge. With this being a new world, maybe we should see if it was a fluke that the sound cut out when we tried to use this cart. Seems like it was. You know, it's only in that dark wooden tunnel that I realize when we use redstone torches to power these rails, it's kind of like we're making a Herobrine hallway of our own. Just that it serves some function. Hey, we captured a pig. What if we tried typing that date? I'm just trying to work with every scrap of information I can get. I'm realizing now this could be a trap. Not just because of what's in here, but because it's essentially baiting us into destroying blocks that aren't ours. Could potentially cause a reputation hit. This time though, I'm not being lazy, I'm completely unsealing the chamber. It's like entering the cell of some caged beast. And look, something we haven't tried to see. Is there maybe something under it? It's just another of these blocks. If we surround you with use guys... It does not do that, so the glowing one is, in fact, a different block. Unless it needs the entire structure. It's weird, it's almost like a corrupted version of a Herobrine shrine, just presented in a different way. And impossible for us to actually replicate. When I actually googled, like, Protected Void, and some of you guys even told me that it was a block that was either rumored to exist in-game, or it was something that did sort of exist but wasn't accessible, and was actually added at one point for, like, an April Fool's or some sort of event. It's so impossible to find a comment on those videos. And thank you all, by the way, for making April 2025 the most successful month by a decent margin in the channel's history. Oh, hey. You're flooding the bridge, making it so that I wouldn't be able to slip away so easily again. Also, the day-night cycle is kicked in. I want to have another look around in the Nether. It's there. The portal is there. There's got to be something. But of course, now that it's getting darker, we'll also have to keep a closer eye out for something creeping up. It felt so bright and cheerful the first time. I think I said so in the last part, but being in the space at night gives me the heebie-jeebies. Maybe if it felt like trespassing, then this feels like the owners will be home soon. I just gave myself the heebie-jeebies. Here, let's play some music. Not helping. That's really not helping. Wait, can we burn null? We cannot. Hey, we got that achievement in this world, too. And you don't want me to forget it. Right, plan is we're checking around the immediate area. Ah, for a second I thought maybe there was, like, a room up here. Alright, well, really, if there were to be anything, it would be at the end of the bridge. We already tried tunneling through the mountain that it's in, but maybe there's something else. This didn't go that far. Okay, what if we come to this shelf up here? That cross scared the crap out of me. I thought somebody was peeking out over the edge. Ow! No! My god. Well, joke's on you. Does peaceful put out fires? Nope. Well, how about this? Not gonna waste my time. Thank you very much for making me do that, actually. Integrity is coming. Or calming. I think we've already met. You hid this message all the way over here. Left a path so that we would know to search. That's my biggest thing about... Null. My biggest thing about Null is that they want this information to get out there, even if they can appear hostile at times. I can't really do much while we're like this. Let's try torching a couple of Null books. Doesn't seem to have done anything. This water appearing may actually be a blessing. Well, certainly not if we do it on the pillar. There we go. That should take us all the way down, because this is kind of my new fascination. This cave here. Anywhere we see torches, we know to look. That cobblestone there, was that us? I think it was. Oh, and you guys get lost. You hear that? Ah, there we go, it's just soundtrack. Really eerie soundtrack, and the fact that it's so directional. It's almost like there's a music box somewhere down here just playing. Hey, look, we found diamonds. In some ways, it really almost feels like this was generated after they were gone. But of course, it couldn't have been. It really does feel like all of this pivots around one point. Like the sound is coming from around here somewhere. It's making me kind of curious about that cave that this waterfall passes by. Okay, now I'm hearing things I really don't know about. It just won't stop. This whole soundtrack is made up of things that sound like noises. Not only is the soundtrack really eerie, it never seems to really go away either. There might be something up there. Things moving in the dark. This water actually makes it really hard to place torches in an open space. Yep. Just reset you guys every time and we'll never have to do a day of combat. Huh? So, what happens if we do have a look at the moon? It's looking a little incomplete there, but that could just be a phase thing. The menu has me tempted to stare at it. We're starting to see your structures spawn around here, indicating that truly no world is safe, nowhere is sacred. Of course, we know now that it's not your doing. You were waiting for me to wake up. And you will sometimes have exactly this effect. You will vandalize your own base. Oh. At this point, it feels more like a power play. Like you're saying, think I won't do it to myself? It was... No, it wasn't! It was literally you! Are you kidding me? What if I just say it right back at you? I'm guessing that you're going to be really unhappy with the fact that this has become of your base. Thankfully, Ram's room up above should still be fine. It's like the light doesn't even work here. Not until we enter it. You're just continuing to tear it apart. For a second, there were actually blocks there. Invisible blocks, but breakable. It's starting to really feel like it's starting to punish me. And I don't know why. From the end of the last part, I knew that the next thing I really needed to do was try camping out on this world. I never knew it would have such rich results. Upgrading versions has definitely made a huge difference. Wait, there's more of those blocks. As soon as I try to interact with them. And they get destroyed in groups. Disappear just as they're about to reach their breaking point. In fact, they even sort of block the sky. Like light behaves differently around them. Do you see that? I don't know if you even will be able to with compression. But you can see that hard line where the clouds are. Man, I'm just trying to find a bed. Although at this point I'm not sure if I should be. Or if I should be waiting it out, trying to see what comes for me, what happens next. Minecraft music happily ignoring all of this as always. You placed a sign on the stairs, and I haven't been anywhere near back here. Never mind, it's completely blank. Unless I accidentally placed it here at some point. But I don't see when I would have. It's still sealed. That's what I really came here to check on. Good luck. Not while I'm on the stairs. Local game hosted on port... I don't know, man. I can't read Portuguese. I keep feeling like we're gonna see it soon. I had spent so long complaining that it felt like nothing was happening. Ram to die joined the game, it says, but he hasn't. He's not in the list. Then again, when it said null left, that didn't mean anything either. Well, let's light the void. Not just cover it, but light it. F2. I can hear you. And now you're gone. It's like you were here for a moment in the walls. Something's coming, and I think we're gonna want to be on top of the hill for this. Oh, and also there's skeletons. Can't forget it's still Minecraft. It's all directional. It's literally like you're in the caves behind this stone. So let's see what happens. You want me? Come get me. Part of me wants to say your name, but I'm worried about what'll happen. Like, I know it's always killed me when I've done it. Hang on. No. You're gone anyway. We can see the log of all of this, essentially, including my screenshots. And it all started from the local game being hosted on the port. Wait, but local game? So, would that mean that it would have to be joining from my network? Also, not to alarm myself, but with the way things were going, I'm pretty sure the sun should have risen by now. It looked like the sun would be rising shortly, the moon was going down, I was heading over here, got sidetracked by all that, and still it's night. Let's see if we can fix this. No. Doesn't seem so. Actually, surprisingly, yes. Alright, you go ahead and burn. There's seemingly a permanent shadow on that hill. But I guess there already was. Also, that floating block, like, it was weird to begin with, but it's only when I really thought about it that I realized, and I've forgotten to bring it up, that block shouldn't even be able to exist in the absence of other blocks on either side. Look at that, you can actually hide in those shadows. And you can certainly see me through them too. Something that's starting to be of great interest to me is the change. Because Null is one entity, it says Ram to Die has joined. But aren't Null and Ram to Die one and the same? What if they aren't? What if they really aren't? He's gone for a year and returns suddenly. I'm trying to put pieces together, but there's a lot of missing ones too. I honestly have no idea which signs are left. A bunch of them are in my inventory now after the base exploded. But all I'm thinking is that they presumably didn't have any contact with this guy in real life, right? Because he never told them why he was gone or anything that was happening. Because look, that structure appeared over in Ram to Die's house. He's presumably the one that put these signs up, warning about integrity, warning about Circuit, who I still have no idea about. I don't know, is it possible that he didn't stop coming of his own volition? I had originally theorized that he did something, that he was the one behind it all and who made it so that they could stay in this world forever. But as time has gone on, we've learned that, no, there was something always here that maybe used Null as a conduit. Still though, if it wanted to infiltrate, then why the name change? I still think I'm off. There's still something I'm missing. Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know if I've had exactly that one before. By the way, you guys know I'm lowering the volume on all of these, right? I'm trying to spare your eardrums, but this mod has no such compunctions for mine. I'm trying to get a sense of orientation here. Where is that relative to the platform? That's what I thought. That redstone cave is under your base. No. 2 hits. You went for 2 hits that time. Is there something moving out there? Might have just been the cow. May have just been the cow. This says ram to die. There are entries in here dated 2018. So I'm wrong on that. The name change occurred before, not after you left and came back. It is so subtle. Literally the only way we can see those blocks that are left behind in a chunk glitch is that we cannot see the clouds through them. It's so cool. Like, that's the cool thing about this. And I've had a number of issues with it, even stuff that's new to the new version. But one thing that's really cool is how we've been slowly just trying to eke out as much story and, I guess, information as we possibly could, having to dig into the literal mod files to find it, and after hearing these names referenced all these times, after just sort of peeking on a shadow of some people's friendship and lives, the only thing I can come away with is saying that I think I've seen it. I think I've seen what they called integrity. And that is a real creepy place to be in, something that I think a regular horror game just can't do. I haven't seen it at all in the few nights I've been camped out, but well, hopefully we'll have better luck in the near future. Until then, if you like this video, or have any ideas for things you want me to try here, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, the link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. And what I really want now is to find out what happens when this integrity kills me.